So you just released your second EP, Vision.
Yes. Yeah.
How very exciting. And I kind of, for some reason, I knew it was your second one.
Yeah.
But then I kind of look at your age and all the things you've done in your life, and I go, it's her second EP. That's so crazy. When did you start? Because I know when you first released your the first single.
Yeah.
How old were you when you started writing music?
Honestly, I can remember back till probably like year 2 when I had to perform a song that I wrote in assembly. So like I have been writing little tunes from probably when I was 5, and I know that sounds really ridiculous, but like I remember very clearly in assembly singing. We've got the videos and everything. So a long time, but like it's still a craft I've got to develop, you know.
Did they teach you in school, or did your parents have a musical background of sorts?
My parents didn't, but my whole extended family is so musical. So I feel like even just like growing up in church, having like all the music around you then, and then you go to family get-togethers and everyone's singing. So it's just like this constant musical background. And my parents encouraged me like to listen to a lot of different music, but they weren't musical.
It's kind of all you can ask for, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
May I ask what you're doing these days? You just moved to Auckland?
Yeah, so last year, moved up to Auckland, and I was full-time working, and now I'm part-time working, so I can like drop back the work schedule and like work on my music more this year, so I'm really excited about that.
See, I thought you moved here to study or something.
No, just to do music.
No, that's wonderful, and so you should. On the new EP, there are songs written with people like Matthew Young, Dave Baxter, Benny Tippene, and Ezra Vine.
Yeah.
Now, some of them you've actually worked with before.
Yeah.
And can we maybe go through one by one, and can you tell me what exactly they bring to your songs, like how they make a song a whole, taking your own writing into account. Maybe let's start with Matthew Young.
Matthew Young, he is a crazy guy. He's amazing. We're totally opposite. Like, you couldn't be more opposite in terms of people. And so he pushes me with lyrics to like kind of get that like edgier, cool vibe. And he's just like so crack up. I always just like constantly learn off him. Like, he's just telling me information about music and about life, and he's amazing. Should I just go through the other ones?
Dave Baxter.
Dave Baxter, he's like the most chill guy, and I think he just like really like mellows me out. Like, I don't know, we can just relax like when I'm with him. Like, I can just chuck out crazy ideas, but we'll just kind of turn it into a good idea. You know, he's just he's a great listener and very wise, and just can pass on a lot of like valuable, I don't know, helpful tips just to how to approach music in the industry. Yeah.
How about Benny Tippene?
Oh, he's like the fastest writer in the world. I swear, like, you go into a session and you'll come out an hour and a half later, like a full song. And it's like a brilliant song. So he's just speedy. It's great.
That's so cool. And Ezra Vine?
He is so, like, he's very intelligent in terms, well, also lyrics, of course, he's amazing. But he's really musical. And so he brings, like, an amazing, like, chord progression to a song, right? Or just like very technical way of looking at music, and I learned so much off that, because I don't know, I'm not musical in the sense of like theory and like different types of instruments. I sing and play guitar, but he's just so clued up on that whole side.
How much of a song do you bring into a writing session before you think of?
I'm always constantly grabbing ideas just randomly, so I always take my either a notebook just full of my ideas, or I'll take recordings that I've recorded throughout the day, or just like lines on my notes on my phone. So it's totally different every time. Like, I could bring absolutely nothing and we can just come up with it on the spot then, or I could bring everything and develop it from there. It's different.
Are there songs we haven't heard from these sessions?
Yes, we had to like wean it down. There were probably about 15 songs that we wrote in total. And then we had to obviously bring it down to 6, which is really hard. And we only decided the final 6 like the first day of recording. So it was silly. That was great. But it's really hard to make a decision sometimes. Yeah.
Especially if your heart hangs on the song.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really difficult. And you've worked with Leroy Clampett before, obviously. What sort of, can you remember the discussion you had with him about the sound of Foolish Ones, your first EP? And can you remember before you went into the recording of Vision, what discussion about the sound you had for this one and what differences you wanted in the production?
Leroy always, like right before we go into recording, he always gets me to make a playlist of my favourite songs, and then I do a big write-up about what I like in every song, so a particular sound, or if there's like, I don't know, a drum beat or something that I like. So I did that for Foolish Ones, sent him a big playlist, and then for this one, obviously like what you kind of like in music develops. So we really tried to push, like, to make something completely different, like that nobody's heard of, which is so hard to do. Like I mean that's crazy, but we really just took my favorite parts of every song that I loved, which it was a ridiculous playlist because it was huge, but we managed to wrap it all up and make Vision.
How would you describe how your music has evolved from one to the next EP?
I would say it's a lot cooler. I don't know how to. Cooler is a weird word to use for it, but that's something that I can describe it. Like, I think it was very electro in the first part, and it felt very like 16-year-old me. Like, but then the second one, I think there are definitely elements which are very much like the last EP. Then this one was just a bit more like bright colours and I don't know. Just more like relaxing and chill. Yeah.
Cool. And you actually got new music project funding for this one?
Yes.
Is that right? Like, it's an interesting one because we always know who gets new music singles funding, which you've also done incredibly well with actually over the years.
It's ridiculous.
But not really about project funding. Have you been involved with the application process for that?
Yeah. So I think you've got to tick off certain things to be able to get in that. So I remember applying for the first one and having to write in all my details. I was so nervous, like not knowing if I was going to get it or not. But New Zealand On Air is just like ridiculous. They honestly are life-changing for musicians in New Zealand. So yeah, I did have a part to play in all of that, and that's exciting, I think, because you can see how, I don't know, just typing into your computer and how that can change into building a full EP.
How long did it take from the application to finding out that you did get the funding?
I think it's maybe about a month, or it could be even 2 weeks. It just depends, because they announce it every month when, I don't know, when you get the funding. So it just depends how close you do it to the deadline.
That's not too bad, actually.
Yeah.
Now, in all the things it takes to get an EP done, I mean, it's not just the recording, there's so many things to it.
Yeah.
When did you finish the recording itself?
The recording was finished in February of 2017, yeah. And then it went on to get mixed, and then we had to do the photo shoot, the EP art, like graphics, and just there's so much, like that's why it takes so long from when you finish recording to like actually releasing, which is frustrating, but
it's got to be done, right? I'm so glad you're saying that, because I deal with a lot of musicians who send me, they say, oh, by the way, I recorded an EP, it came out 2 weeks ago, here it is. You go, geez.
How?
You know how long it takes to get anything done about anything at all, so give me some time.
Yeah.
What do you say to musicians who say, oh, we'll record it this week, get it mastered next month, and then we'll just drop it?
I think be patient, let the songs grow on you first, learn about your music in that time. I think that's so important, because it can be so easy just to write a song, record it, and then release, but you haven't had time to really, this is weird, but like be friends with the song. Like I've learned so much by just re-listening to my songs and finding new ways to hear it, or new parts of production I haven't discovered when we were recording it. So I think just be patient, let it sit for a little bit, let it really become you, so you can then go out and tell people about it and totally own it.
I love that you listen to your own music.
Yeah,
I think it's so important.
It
totally
important.
is. What was your biggest challenge in getting the album out, EP out?
Biggest challenge, definitely weaning down the songs, and also, I don't know, just like getting my voice around maybe some of the hooks, stretching my voice, because I always struggle, because I write songs that sometimes I actually struggle to sing. So then when you get into the recording booth, you're like, flip, man, I need to like actually own this. and it takes a little bit of time. So probably like perfecting that.
That's a good one. You've been with the same management team for quite a while. That's I find that quite rare because people often sort of jump around between management teams. Yeah. What do you reckon is the recipe for success in a relationship between the artist and the management?
Again, time. I mean, I've been with these guys since I was 13 from development, so they're almost like my second family. I mean, I didn't know anyone else in Auckland when I moved up apart from those guys, and it's just building that relationship. I mean, it's really easy just to have like this business relationship, but when you can actually take time to let them into your personal life and just, I don't know, be friends with them, it's so much more fun, and it's just, you just develop that trust, and it's so valuable to move on. Yeah.
Cool. Do you have a next big ambition? Because you've already ticked a lot of boxes that other people would like to, big festivals and getting featured on big websites overseas. You've done a lot of cool stuff already. So what's your next big dream?
I would just like to perform. I would. I've done 3 performances since the first single came out. And I just want to do more. I mean, I have this band and we're practicing every week, and it would just be, I don't know, there's nothing better than walking on stage and like actually connecting with people that you make the music for.
What's holding it back?
I'm just finding the right gigs and getting the right opportunities. But we've got one coming up in a month for Music in the Park, so very excited about that.
Those are great.
Yeah, and we can play all the new songs now. It's out.
Little children dancing in the front, and that is just so cool. What music are you into right now?
Oh my goodness, I'm really into a band called Wesley. Well, they're not really a band, I think it's like a girl singer. She's amazing. I've got a song called Bathwater out. I'm really into Bank, he's the New Zealand musician. Flip. There's so many. I love Banks, and I love Jared James. Nothing he can do is bad. He's amazing. There's so many. I mean, it's so easy with Spotify because like you can just pick one song from one artist, so that's just this massive collection of just like one song from every artist. So it's hard to.
Yeah. I don't know. Have you got any plans for an OE or something?
No, not yet. Maybe soon. I don't know.
So it seems
really
like the obvious thing to do, right?
Yeah, I know. This year, I think. If it happens, that would be amazing. But this year, I really just want to concentrate on like developing my songwriting and just really getting stuck in just to immersing myself in just my whole life in music. Because I feel like last year was a lot like settle into Auckland, work a full-time job, and it was like work, sleep. But now this year is just music. So if an OE is involved in that, I mean, absolutely. Take me on it.
What's next? Is the next EP already done and dusted?
No, that's the plan for this year. Coming up with new songs, possibly a couple more singles throughout the year. I'm releasing the music video on Wednesday, so that's the next one off the list. And yeah, performing.
Cool. Yeah. Good luck with everything. Thanks so much for coming in.
No, thank you so much for having me. This is such a pleasure.
Good timing with the really unpleasant noise.